For some
you
reason,
did?
yeah, and for some reason my...
All right. Well, the players are off, so we are going to see who's gonna take things here. I was hearing that maybe it was 1-1, so I'm not sure if our score is actually correctly reflected right now. I think Dave was saying that it was indeed 1-1, but we'll get that sorted out before the end of the game. We got plenty of time. We got at least 10 minutes. But both of these guys are off to a fast start here. We get to see these climb sections. Hopefully, the climb doesn't claim anybody. No, that's happened once or twice. Dave said it happened to him.
I died on the climb once.
Oh, you did too?
I died on the first climb,
Okay, so two of the best players died on the climb, guys. That shows you, man. That just shows you how treacherous that climb is.
Climb is, in a one race setting, if you're not really warmed up in that one race setting, like, or it's a best of 3, but in just a one game, no resets, the climb is...
It's scary.
Yeah, it is. It's dumb because you play with me. I usually need like at least 10 minutes or something worth of resets just to get the climb over.
I don't know, man. You're pretty on point. We did get to play at ESA, and Andy was handling all the climb sections in co-op, and man, it was something to behold. So both of our players getting through stage 1 pretty cleanly, or zone 0. I don't know why they started with zone 0, but they did in this game. It's 0 and then it's all letters. I mean, I guess there was no other choice, really. They could have made that zone A, right? Couldn't they have made that stage zone A?
Yeah, probably. I mean, J is last one, so why wouldn't the last one be K? I mean, why not? I have no idea. But anyway, we didn't have any deaths in the first stage, and that's good.
That's what's important. So yeah, these guys are now headed into everybody's favorite section, these water faucets. I really do not like this section. It's like... You have to try to do like the babyest taps on your jumps, and then you have to do this really fast back and forth, running, and it's
kind of out of place in this speedrun. But at the same time, it's really, really impressive if you do fast water type sections. So
no question, no question. Anytime if somebody could do it super fast, you're like, wow. Like,
I mean, at least you have some inputs to do. Like, there's a stage in all zones, E, I think it is, in a wood stage, and there's a little lake you go over with a boat.
Oh yeah.
And you just go. I mean, you just press right, and you just having a little Sunday stroll there. Not stroll, but Sunday ride. It's so boring.
Yeah, it's a little slow. Yeah, there's a couple parts in this game where things get slowed down, and both of these guys were able to get a reasonable kill. Magic K extending his lead ever so slightly as we head into Zone D, and D1 is always a scary screen for me. Looks like we got a box kill on Magic's side. Another box kill on base guy's side. No harm in that. That's smart safe strats right there.
I would actually recommend that. They did it slightly different. Base guy threw the box upwards. I guess he has been looking at how I do it. But the thing is, if you wanna, I mean, the point of throwing it upwards is only if you are, if you're jumping at the same time.
Right.
So in that case, it's probably easier just to throw it straight forward, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, it's a 14 frame difference. So if you're moving forward and doing an up throw at the same time, you'll lose 2 frames of momentum versus you'll lose 16 frames of momentum if you're just straight up throwing a box forward. So 14 frames probably not going to make the difference in this race, but every little bit does help. So if you're able to develop a comfort level on doing the up throw, then it's always better to do it than a forward throw for anybody that's learning the game.
It is always better as well to do the things you are comfortable with.
Yes.
That's a major problem. We talked about race mentality and stuff earlier, and I think that when something goes wrong, I think it was Wolverine who stick to his damage boost plan even though he died on the first.
Yes.
That's when you start
absolutely.
to not used to because you panic. Then that's usually when shit hits the fan, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
No, that's for sure. Yeah, you definitely want to stick with what you know, and stay within your predicted route. You don't want to do any rerouting on the fly. That's probably going to land you in trouble most of the time.
Even if it's you might do some mistakes, you might take a death or whatever, but I mean it's probably still better to stick to a plan.
Yeah. Safe strats are only really safe strats if you've practiced them. Otherwise, they may not really be a safe strat. So Magic K looked like he had a pretty good stage there, and Base Guy not too far behind. He's able to get through. But Magic K is slowly extending that lead. His movement is just a little bit cleaner, and he's not made any really noticeable mistakes thus far. So if he's able to keep that going, although he did go for that, that's probably a pixel perfect or 2 pixel jump that he went for to avoid those gators. He did not get it, so a little bit of time going to be given back to Base Guy.
I think that's another thing that I think that's. I mean, you can actually just drop down and go under them.
Right, you lose some time because you're not holding right, but it's probably minimal. I mean, in a race setting, it's, is it really worth it to go for that jump? I don't know. And the health. I mean, the health is, you don't want to go to 1 health if you can avoid it. So, and some people are taking that intentional damage boost in the second screen. Not everybody is, but if you're taking that intentional damage boost, you don't want to take damage in the first screen.
Oh, it can get a bit scary for sure. Even if, as long as you play as your game plan, you shouldn't take any extra damage aside from that. But we all know what can happen, especially.
Oh yes, we have seen it happen. And Magic K had a little bit of a fall there, so he lost a little bit more time in this screen. Base Guy is actually, I believe, going to catch up just a little bit as long as he's able to finish this fight, and he does.
Stronger stage there. He didn't take Magic had 1 knockback, and they also.
Well, he fell down. He fell down in the third screen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think
so. He had to stack up the blocks to get back up top. That was the time loss.
That's definitely a time loss.
So, but now it's going to come down to H. The climb, everybody loves it. I actually love the climb, man. I think it's a great challenge, and it's like once you've done it enough, it's pretty fun. I mean, it can definitely be annoying if you lose a run to it, but when you hit a nice climb, it feels really good, doesn't it?
It does. This is my favorite stage personally as well. It can be really frustrating, but exactly like you say, when you hit it, it's such a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So Magic is going for the left side climb, which is a bit easier, I would say.
Yeah. I think it is technically faster because I did time the climb in your world record versus like some of the fastest climbs on right side climbs, and it was faster. But then I also don't have your fastest ever right side climb to compare it to, so I don't know.
I think when I timed it, it was fairly much equal. Pretty
equal. Okay.
It's on the left side, but you have to turn back right in that last box before you kill that squirrel. So it's kind of a little backtracking there. But yeah, I don't remember. But both climbs are good. You should do the one you're comfortable with for sure.
Right. So both players.
Mind.
All right. Both players going to head into I. And Magic K1, he's looking to take this. Now remember, guys, this is game 3, so whoever wins this is moving forward. Whoever loses is going to be out of the tournament. So this is a critical game right here. And as most of these races do, it's probably going to come down to J.
Yeah, and how far apart are we now? It's like 10 seconds maybe, or maybe 15, but it doesn't really matter because a death is so costly most of the time.
And that was almost a death by Magic there. He got hit by that enemy right next to the ledge, and thankfully he didn't get knocked off into the pit, so he's able to survive, and he is going to be headed into the Caterpillar boss. See if he can get a 2-cycle here. First hit's clean, second hit's good. He's got the first 3. Just needs to catch this ball. He threw too early. Still got the 2-cycle. Lost a little bit, but that was good. He was able to recover. Had a little bit of a mistake. You want to throw the ball early so that you can get a fast hit, but you don't want to throw it too early because then you just miss completely.
They also want to position yourself as close to him as possible. But then you risk taking a hit from the.
True. Which you can recover from taking the hit as well. Like you'll still get a 2-cycle, but it'll be slower. So it's it's not the worst thing ever, but it's definitely not ideal. Yeah, you want to be in that perfect position where you're like right next to it. So here we go, and right away, Magic K making some nice moves there. He was able to avoid that weasel. He knew he was going to get hit, so he kind of like backtracked and went underneath. That was pretty smooth.
And you don't want to take a hit here because you want to be able to take 2 boosts from the axis to skip 2 axes.
And that's exactly what Magic K has done. So he is going to be into the climb section. He's going to be able to refill that health. Meanwhile, we have Base Guy. He is getting through the axes himself, but he is in that situation again where he's going to need Magic K to take an unfortunate, untimely death. And doesn't look like that's going to happen because he did the strat to save himself a health there, so he's going to have
that lucky
to take a hit. He's got to be careful on Fat Cat, but he's in a good position.
As long as it doesn't jump into the... Okay, it's fine. Whew.
Man, that was scary. Magic K taking it down. He's got game 3 with a 10-20. Very, very solid time. And
seconds from PB. Well, those guys are crazy. They're having runs within PB range in a race.
Yeah, really, really good runs. Really good. Man. Wow, 2 really good matches in a row that we got to see there. That was great stuff. So Base Guy was not too far behind, and somebody's asking, was that a PB for Base Guy, actually? It was almost a PB, they're saying. Oh, man. Wow. Wow, people are really bringing it.
I'm getting scared here,
Andy's getting worried, man. These guys are coming for him. They're on the hunt.
I can't say. I mean, I think both my times were worse than 10-20. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you've de-rusted now, so we're expecting the next your next match has to have at least 1 sub 10. That's probably.
Oh, me, I'm just trying to make some excitement here, So. What's it called? I'm too tired for my English. I'm making people have a false hope of beating me, basically.
Oh, you're giving them false hope, right? You're like, oh man, yeah, I might get another 10-20, guys.
Suspense, yeah, creating suspense. Thank you so much.
There we go. That's right.
That's the word.
Chat, bail us out. Thank you, chat. Yeah, it's getting to be almost midnight there for Andy.
I'm usually not that tired this time of day, but for some reason, sitting's still here. But I mean, it's an exciting tournament, but whenever you're not active yourself, it's a little bit, you kind of start to doze off a bit.
Right. It does happen.
Earlier, I checked some stats. For some reason, my first world record is for some reason not represented anymore on. I don't know where it went. I have to check if I have it locally, but because it's not on speedrun.com anymore.
Man, it's been lost to time. So even if you look at the history, it's not showing up, huh?
No, I mean, I know for some reasons there are more than one. I mean, if there are some, we didn't have milliseconds back in the day.
Right.
I met a time with the same type. I mean, those are nines. The first one was a 957, and the second one was a faster 957. So it's only the faster one that shows up now because the other one was apparently deleted. It doesn't really matter though, because I know that my first runs are still here, and that's the beginning of December. And I remember I got my first 957 in my 8th day of playing. Okej, tack Ida. Tack så mycket.
Mamma sovade men jag kan kolla på mer.
Ja, jag förstår. Du får kolla på mer imorgon.
Nej.
Godnatt älskling.
Jag vill bara ett avsnitt till.
We have a very special guest right now, everyone.
Yeah, just one more episode of Pokemon, she says. Go away, I guess I should oblige.
Okay. Just one more.
Why is she even awake? Anyway. But after that, then I think the progression is right. Then I got 957, 956, 955, 954, 953, 52, 51, 50, etc., down to 48.
Wow.
But no one.
And then you got the 48. You skipped 49.
No, I actually had 149.
Oh, you did have a 49. Okay.
Maybe even two, I don't remember. But it's fine. I mean, the thing is, no one else has. I mean, there's been some people coming somewhat close. Stuck in a Plate was probably the closest one, actually.
Oh.
When I think had there was in the beginning when the RNG manipulation was found, but after that I lowered it quite significantly.
And then you came back. Yeah, nobody's that close to you now. I think the closest competitor you have is still 5 seconds behind.
Yeah, it's kind of. I really hope someone else will. I mean, keep pushing. I mean, a tournament like this can help with that, I guess, because people always the fighting spirit up.
Well, you know who I think has a good chance to at least maybe get like low 950 or maybe the 4X would be Dave, because he actually plays this game on ABS, so he's losing time automatically because the frame rate on that is
it's losing like a second then in that case.
Yeah, he's losing at least a second there. So he's really technically, I think he's already probably got like a 953.
You're saying he's gonna try to challenge me in another game? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying he could challenge. Maybe he could challenge in this game because you're hoping that he's, I mean, Batman. He's obviously trying to challenge you as well, but that's how Dave is, man. He sees an indie run. He wants to take it down. I don't know he's succeeded in that yet, but he's still on the hunt. He's pursuing it.
Yes, but that's good though. I mean, that's good. That gives the motivation to drive the time lower. But yeah, how many people are there now? There's Hyrexin as well on 953, right? And then we have Kinedrip on 53 as well. Yes, but actually, it's kind of interesting. My old 950. My best run I had before the RNG manip was found was 954.160, I think. So that would actually still be a top 5 time, which is interesting.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy impressive. And I mean, there are still some strats guys that are not in the world record run that could potentially be faster. Not by a ton, but there's a few. So if anybody ever did start getting close to Endy, maybe you'd have to take the game back up again. But we're not there yet. Right now, you can rest easy and be very happy with the 948, which is of course an amazing time. And I guess we're gonna do one more. You're good for one more.
But I need to ask you as well, which strategy in particular were you thinking about? Not in the record, not the double pass axe boost or something in J?
I think it's not in there. Well, no, there's a couple. It's very minor stuff. Like there's a few things where it's just frames. Like I've noticed that in all the one-player runs, people don't know if you in the very beginning of J, if you jump and bonk your head into the boxes and then you get to the conveyor belt faster, it's a few frames faster. That's just something that I think people didn't realize because it's so minor. It's almost like I think it might be between 2 and 4 frames. But obviously, and with how optimized your run is, you want to get every frame you can, and those are free. But yeah, I'll see if there's a few other things as I'm delving deeper into this one-player run. I'll give you all the potential frame savers. There's nothing big. There's definitely nothing big, but there might be some frame savers here and there. So we have TEEX88 and stealThunder. Do you know anything about either of these players?
I know quite a bit about Thunder, and I know very little about TEEX. But I was actually in TEEX stream last night for some reconnaissance. So I do know that it has a 1035 PB.
Okay.
And he was playing fairly. I mean, his strats were not very advanced, but he did execute the strats he was doing very good. So I think he will do some consistently good times here in these races.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, consistency definitely a big thing. We can see stealThunder has slightly better movement in terms of his climbs and whatnot, so he might be pulling ahead just a little bit here.
Surprised me actually, because Thunder has sub 10 actually.
Oh, does he?
We
have a sub 10 runner here, but he's got to be careful. He actually loses some time there because he couldn't afford to take another hit from that rat, and he was smart to play it like that because those rats are very unpredictable in their movement. And if he took one hit, that was pretty much going to be like a 50-second time loss.
You don't want to die at the end of the first stage.
That would be probably the biggest time loss. I think that's even a bigger time loss than if you died at the end of J. It's comparable.
It is. Yeah, Thunder is showing some nerves here, I think. Throwing the balls.
A little bit, yeah. struggled on the boss fight. So yeah, I mean, this is now we're talking about, you know, maybe looks like about a 10-second gap between these two. So TEEX getting spotted a nice little lead here to start out with. Let's see if he can capitalize. Again, he is, as Andy said, he's got the consistent strats.
Exactly. I don't know. I kind of don't realize where those 10 seconds came from. I kind of missed it somehow. I'm not sure.
Well, stealThunder had missed the. He had to wait for that rat at the end of the first screen, and then he also messed up the boss fight.
Yeah, the boss fight I saw. So I
Yeah.
missed the first. Okay. But
Yeah.
there's a fast work tap section.
So as it is, TEEX still standing in the lead here. It's not a big lead. It's not insurmountable by any means. And I think it's the kind of situation where if we're not seeing deaths, it's going to be the kind of thing stealThunder catches up slowly. He's just picking up, you know, half second here, half second there kind of thing. Although TEEX is going for a slow strat here. So this could be a big catch up for stealThunder if he gets a quick kill. And he's not going for the fastest.
I think she goes for the safe version. Yes, she does.
Okay. stealThunder with the faster kill than what TEEX did, catching up some time.
But that kill is honestly, I mean, if you're not consistent, I'd say if you're not having like, I don't know, 70-80% consistency of the faster version, you should go for that because it's only like a second slower.
So it's really not a huge difference.
It's really easy,
super easy. Yeah, super easy. Although, you know, something interesting I found out is that your fast spaceship kill is like 100 times easier in one player than in two player.
I know.
I had no idea. I think you might have told me that at ESA, but I just didn't. It didn't register until I like actually tried it myself, and I was like, "What?"
It took some adjustment in the co-op for sure to be able to get it.
Yes. Okay, so both players turning off that final switch there. I thought that might be an opportunity for stealThunder to gain back a little more time, but no, they both turned off the switch. Neither of them wants to be taking too much damage. You can definitely understand that because this robot boss, you know, people have been handling it pretty well today, but I think it's claimed at least a few casualties as well.
Yes, the robot fight is. I mean, it's the same every time, but it can still be if you. Well, the most common mistake is to miss the ball grab and then you get hit, and then it gets kind of scary actually. So.
Yeah, and we can see TEEX is really struggling here. stealThunder gets a very fast kill and takes the lead.
Boss fights are so important in this game. It's the sole most important. Except for dying, of course, but having fast boss fight is really important.
Yeah, no question. And TEEX there, that was the first inconsistency that we really saw from TEEX. Had an errant up throw, and then from there, it's just that boss fight can really spiral out of control because you have a lot of those obstacles all over the screen. So it's like if you miss one throw, you're kind of getting yourself in a really bad situation.
I'm also pretty sure that Thunder, I don't think she went for the Yoka boost. I think she intentionally went into the ball. Because that spawns the second ball faster. So no matter if you like, even if you don't get the actual Yoka boost, you can still get a faster ball cycle. So yeah, it's actually faster than waiting for the first ball. I mean, because you have to get really close. So you can actually get close and then wiggle back and not get hit at all, and still spawn the second ball. But it's a minor thing.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely, and those boosts, they look, you know, fancy, but they don't save a ton of time. And meanwhile, we saw TEEX taking actually a slower route in the second room. So stealThunder has really built a solid lead now. TEEX is going to have his work cut out for him to come back. stealThunder playing well.
Yes, I mean, in this stage, I don't expect anything particular to happen, but there's still H and J left. I mean, we were talking about that. Oh, you and Dave were talking about that squirrel earlier, and yeah, I mean, no, I'm not gonna curse anything, but that's good. I mean, I like Dave said, I have to agree with Dave on this one. I would have bet that squirrel to claim at least a few lives.
Yeah, you would think, but I guess people are so aware of it that they're like really going out of their way to make sure that, you know, I am not going to die to this squirrel because it's a huge death.
It is, but I've seen people go under it. I mean, some people throw boxes at it, but even throwing boxes at it's I don't know. We'll see.
You would think, yeah, you would think that somebody's going to get got. So it's a matter of time. There's still a lot of matches left to be played, guys. So, you know, that's probably going to happen eventually. I hope it's not during this match, but
it's time.
It could be.
Well, I guess we'll see now because Thunder is entering H. So
we are there. It is that moment. So here comes. There was a nice mini delay there to despawn one of the crabs, and now it's just getting over these, get that box, and it looks like everybody's going left side these days. That seems to be the strat, and
it's a new cool thing.
I don't blame people, man. That right side climb is really, really difficult.
But I have to say, okay, she did a safe squirrel kill.
Yes, no risks there. Neither of those squirrels were going to have any chance of doing anything in that situation. And same thing for TEEX, also going for a super straight. Kills them both. He's like, you guys are not even going to get a chance.
Maybe they heard us. Okay.
They're listening. They're like, oh yeah, those squirrels, man. We better do something about that.
But I don't blame people for going to the left side climb there on the H, because while the right side, I think the right side looks much more cool, but when you do it properly, but I mean the left side is safer and easier, so it's
I agree. There's really not. I mean, I did start practicing that left side kill, but I can't do it as fast as the left side climb. I can't do it as fast as I can do the right side because I've done the right side one so much that it's just hard to catch up. And it's like, I can't really afford to give up 0.2 seconds right now. So, all right, most boring stage in single player, the fans. Gives you plenty of time to think about Jay and what you got to do there.
That's the only benefit of this stage is, well, you can mess it up. It happens occasionally, but for the most part, it's just nice to have a little breather before the real action starts. Because J is so much harder than,
would you say that outside of G, would you say this is the second easiest stage?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's really tricky is the boss. Yeah, even the boss fight, it's not super tough,
really not hard. And also, it's hard before you learn it properly, but then it's
true.
Becomes second nature. But the actual stage, the only time loss you can possibly get is like bumping into a box here and there, and that's not gonna matter unless we're going for a stupidly low time. So,
all right, stealThunder, first one into J. It's time to close this run out and take a 1-game lead. Now, can she avoid disaster in the axe section, or with the weasels, or with the gators? There's a lot of things that can go wrong in this stage.
We got past the first weasels. That stupid first jump there, and now, okay.
Wow. Nice. Going for the tricky damage boost. All right.
Going safe. Saving one of the health. Oh, I'm scared in my heart. Throwing a box over a pit is...
That is very scary. Yeah, it kills your momentum, guys. So that you need that momentum to clear the gap, and that was a little dangerous.
I think that's not something she usually does. So that was one of those scenarios where, going safe, like for being safe, and that actually turned out to be, because that was very close to dying. I've done that thing myself a few times trying to go safe. So
yeah,
I usually don't.
Terrifying. But stealThunder closing it out there with a very nice mid 10-minute run, and TEEX did a good job as well, but just couldn't quite have the level of consistency needed. But still close to PB. This is a 1040, and I believe you said that TEEX PB is a 1030x.
Yes, so considering that TEEX was only 5 seconds from PB, while Thunder was 25 seconds from PB. So, TEEX did a really, really good job here, I have to say.
Absolutely. Good game won by both players. And, TEEX, that's got to hurt, too, because it's like you come that close to your PB and you still didn't win. It can be a little bit demoralizing. So you kind of have – this is where you have to be mentally tough. And you have to be like, hey, all I can do is just have another good run right now. We're going to game 2. Let's move on. So remember, guys, this is just day 1 of the tournament. Tomorrow is going to be day 2. There's going to be more action to come. But for now, I think we have a few more matches. We're trying to play down, I believe we're trying to play down to the top 8 here today. And the top 8 will take place tomorrow.
I think that is the way it's supposed to happen. Let's see here. I'm going to check the bracket, if the bracket is updated. The bracket is broken. Okay, now it fixed. Someone is messing with it. Let's see here.
I think there's still I think the base guy Magic K match hasn't been registered yet, but that one you would be going against the winner of that, which is, unless your opponent shows up, which we believe that your opponent still has not shown up today. So you may be getting a bye and headed straight into the top 8. Meanwhile, we need to see who's going to be the winner of this match. The winner of this match will face Chrissy in the top 8. And then we still have Cartina versus Ziguigui and Moly Man versus Moo Mooney. We still have those matches.
I was thinking, are the Cartina got a bye against Rick Grimes? That was a bit... So question is, I think they were talking about doing those matches tomorrow as well. I'm not sure, actually.
Okay. We'll have to figure it out, guys. We've had some technical difficulties because of Discord that has slowed things down in this otherwise smooth running tournament. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But for at least for now, we have TEEX and stealThunder. We're going to be going to game 2 here pretty soon.
I wonder if we'll see something differently. I think TEEX will just keep doing what it's done the past game. I mean, I really can't see him do anything. I mean, it's hard to say anything he can improve because he played really solid for the most part. It was just some minor things. So I think he has to hope for Thunder to.
Gotta hope for some mistakes. Yeah, I mean, a bigger mistake. There was the mistakes that Thunder had really were kind of, they were marginal. It was 5 seconds, 10 seconds. He needs like a death. He needs Thunder to have really a death. That's kind of what he's looking for. If you think about it, at the very beginning of that race, when we had Thunder almost die at the end of the first screen, if that had happened, then TEEX wins games 1.
Yeah, that would have made all the difference. That's a huge death.
So as it stands,
even small mistakes, though. If Thunder starts doing those small mistakes, it can add up, and she can also get more nervous because of it. So we'll see here. It's interesting. True.
Yeah. I mean, this is now you're on match point, so there's a little more pressure of I need to close it out versus coming from behind to win. Like when you're coming from behind to win, you have nothing to lose, right? Like you got to win right now or it's over. Versus having the kind of like I'm up a game, so even if I lose, I'm still okay. It's not the right mentality to have. But so far, both of them cruising through and almost dead even going into the boss.
There also both people, both of them actually skipped the 1 damage boost in the first screen, so they both have 2 health going.
And thank goodness, because stealThunder took another hit, so stealThunder would have been dead if not playing it safe there, and she's able to close out the boss, but not before TEEX did. So TEEX again gonna have a lead, not a sizable one, but decent to start.
This is the same thing that happened last game. Thunder threw a ball to the left or the right instead of upwards going into the boss fight. So, and that really messes up the pattern. So there's really no good way of recovering from that. So.
Yeah, it's a tough situation to be in. That boss is definitely awkward. It's if you get off track on that boss, it's hard to know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
All right, so far so good for TEEX. And both of them, I noticed they both jump on the apple, and I noticed you jump over that apple in B2. Do you know if that's actually faster?
I jump a bit. The apples are weird.
They can sometimes be sticky, right?
Yeah, they have something called trap tiles.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the switches in D as well. Like sometimes when you land on a switch, you kind of get stuck for a frame or two.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can see the ship like stuttering a bit. And it's the same with apples. So I always avoid apples whenever I can.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've seen that a lot myself. It doesn't happen every time, but you don't want to give that opportunity for it to happen. So in a race situation, one frame is probably not going to be the difference maker. I mean, that'd be crazy if we had a race that came down to that, but most likely it's not. And TEEX going up top, he's getting the double damage boost this time. He's not playing around. He knows that his back is against the wall. He's got to take this thing down. stealThunder took one boost.
Oh wow! He managed to get under the spinner from just like the one tile jump. That's really hard. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty frightening. Now TEEX is not going for the health because he's going to get it later, and he was able to clear that enemy, which can be hard to do. TEEX picks up the health, doesn't need to worry about the damage boost. stealThunder also skipping it.
Yeah, she already had full health. So let's see here now. This is really interesting because I said that I don't think TEEX was going to change anything, but it seems like he knows that he needs to go all out here.
I guess so. He figured, hey, I came within 5 seconds of my PB and it wasn't good enough. What more can I do? Well, that's what more TEEX can do, and he did it. So now he's going to have a good robot fight. The robot gave him a lot of problems last time. This time he's looking a little bit. Oh no! Wow, the hitbox on that robot is just so big. He looked like he was in the clear there, and then before you know it, he's getting hit.
Thunder also died, and now they're both trying to...
Wow! This is incredible. This is... Oh my goodness. What a race we have going on right here, guys. Now, thankfully, lives are not that much of a concern in this game because you do get an extra life if you choose in the bonus stage. So, taking a death is... not the worst thing, as long as your opponent dies too, which is what happened, but man, that was intense.
I'm interested in the climb now. Let's see if TEEX is still going for that. Yeah,
TEEX went for that super slow climb last time. That's not going to be good enough here.
It's a significant difference, actually, so we'll see if Thunder managed to catch up here. And yes, he does go for a weird... I'm not familiar with
this is a little bit of a faster... Oh, no. He could have got over there. No, he's doing the same thing as last time. It looks like he was going for a better setup this time, but it didn't happen for him. Oh, no. He is really in trouble now.
Grab the ball.
This is so scary. Oh, wow. He got the lucky floor. He got the lucky floor. So sometimes it's probably been explained before, guys, but sometimes the top of the screen and the bottom of the screen overlap. So he actually was standing on the ceiling there instead of falling into the pit. So TEEX getting a lucky break, but he lost a lot of time in that screen.
Let's see here. Let's see if I can count it. It was, wow, we lost around 16 seconds in that. That's a lot.
That is a tough one, and that's mostly based on the strat that he was going for. Unfortunately, TEEX was going for a slower strat, which is, I guess it's a little safer, but I think you could probably even find a safer strat that's not that slow.
I'm not sure. Yeah. PB, but I guess we know now what. If he's gonna PB hunt after this, we need to tell him.
Right? Yeah. We definitely gotta let TEEX know. Hey, there's some different ways to do that screen. You don't need to worry about it. Now TEEX having to be very careful because he's on 1 health. Ooh, and going for that jump over the Rhino. That's a tight one to get. And he also doesn't know how to despawn his bomb up here, which is losing a little bit of time.
Well, I think he's fairly new to the game, so.
Yeah. So probably just some things he hasn't picked up on yet. But yeah, we've had a lot of new people join the tournament, TEEX being one of them. So stealThunder with a solid lead. TEEX going to need something to happen.
It's kind of the same situation as last game, I'd say. TEEX had a lead early on and kept it for a while, and then Thunder ate herself back into the game. But now, Dale is giving gadget flowers. Look at that, Dave. Right.
Dave he is anti-Dale, man. I mean, I know you're not a big fan of Dale either, but I think Dale is. I mean, I think Dave is even like more hardcore than you are about it.
Yeah, I was surprised at that, actually, more than I expected.
See, I think that you actually have a little more of a liking for Dale now that since you had to play co-op and you played as Dale, you're like, okay, he's not so bad. He's not as bad as I thought.
Don't push it, Sinister. Don't push it. Wouldn't go that far. let's just say I came to terms with accepting my fate.
Okay. Good enough.
Okay, both going to the left side climb, but again, Teek's having a solid climb, I'd say, and he also went slightly faster here, I think. Yeah, killing that second squirrel is probably faster than waiting under it, I would say, so... Might be gaining a little time here, but...
Still gonna need that Death and J. Gotta have it.
Yes.
Got to have it.
Definitely.
You know, I don't know if you've been watching the whole time, but have there been any big deaths in J that caused a lead change yet? Has that happened?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't been watching everything. I've been having it on in the background, but I've been practicing a bit of Batman all the time.
Man.
Sorry. But
the confidence. And he doesn't even need to practice this game. He's practicing another game.
I did practice a couple kills, okay, but after that, but no, I mean, I guess I don't think there's been any major things happening in J so far, which is weird. I mean, the two places I would expect things to happen is like H and J, and
absolutely.
I mean, there might have been one death from that, but
yeah, we just have not seen it yet. You know, we keep talking about it. And you guys are probably like, yeah, H and J are probably not that hard. Oh no, Teeks was on 1 health there. He did not get the health refill, and then he took damage from the stork. That is, oh man, that's a major time loss there.
Yeah, it was so sad that my stream froze, so I have to refresh it.
Yeah, no, what happened was, you know, Teeks is, for some reason, he is not using the box. It's probably, again, just because he's new to the game. He doesn't know that there's an acorn under that box, and he was on 1 health at the end of the fan section. Tried to clear that final stork, and he hit him all the way back to the beginning of the screen. So now we have stealThunder heading into the second screen of J, and Teeks not even in J yet. So this one, stealThunder, I mean, if stealThunder is actually watching the stream, like, she could go super safe strats here. You don't even need to do the axe boost at this point. You could go as slow as you want, take it nice and easy, and nope, she still went for 1 axe boost anyway.
Playing it safe. Okay, and this time she didn't throw any box over the pit.
Yeah. No need for all that. So stealThunder, there's just one more tough section to get through here. I believe last time she got the frame perfect kill on the Weasel, but she's going for the double hit on the Weasel. Oh, wow, got it again and was still able to avoid the plunger. Nice moves.
Even if she dies here, she still will be in the lead. So
yeah, no, once she got into Fat Cat, she'd have to just like game over on Fat Cat somehow would be the only way, but she doesn't do that. She gets a 1033, and that is going to be the match. So stealThunder is going to advance into the top 8. stealThunder will take on Chrissy, and both of them have been getting similar time in the tournament. So even though their PBs are very different, I think that's going to be a good matchup.
It's going to be a great matchup, I think. Chris is showing off a great performance last match with 2 solid times. The last one basically tying his PB. I mean, and that was faster than both the times that Thunder got in this matchup. So, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, so you're going to want to tune in tomorrow, guys, because that's going to be one of all the top 8 matches that are going to get played. And I think there'll be some really tight races tomorrow, and hopefully a few more today. We'll have to see how long we're going to go for. We're a little behind schedule because of the Discord situation, but we might be able to fit in one more match, at least. We'll see.
I think I'm unfortunately going to have to leave you here because I am super tired, honestly. So since my opponent didn't show up, and I don't think there's been any sign of him showing up now either.
Well, I think he's probably just been waiting. He's like, all right, if I wait till Andy goes to sleep, then he'll get disqualified and I'll get into the top 8. You know, he's going for those strats. No, I'm just kidding, man. Have a good sleep, get some rest, and we'll see you back for the top 8 tomorrow.
Yes, thank you very much. And I assume Dave will come back here, but everyone on Speed Gaming, you have a good night as well. And thank you for today. I see.